Transmuting Flame by Saint Germain. To all devotees of the violet flame's perfection, I address myself. Seldom do mankind realize the glorious wisdom of the mind of God that has contrived the violet transmuting flame in all of its cosmic unfolding glory. It is difficult for the world in its present state of development to fully comprehend from the level of the human consciousness or through the power of the human mind those momentous invisible actions and activities of the sacred fires of God. You are not dealing with a figment of your imagination when you deal with the violet transmuting flame. When you gaze at mass accumulations of vapor floating lazily in the sky and producing the constantly changing panorama of cloud capers, you are able to conceive that on the spur of the moment, what seems a billowing froth of air may become a turbulence of unforeseen destruction. When the average individual calls the violet transmuting flame into action, he does not have the power to perceive the dancing stream of electrons which perform on the stage of his consciousness, nor is he aware of the tremendous cosmic energy involved therein. Even some of you do not realize this great potential that transcends both time and space and produces in the now of your life's adventure a blessed action of transmutation, a cosmic change that moves you to step forward on the path. This is accomplished as the flame consumes the negative storehouses of energy that resides in your subconscious world and produce those disquieting manifestations which you have often lamented. Thus the flame prepares the way through the divine leveling process for the erection of their place of the most benign and constructive endeavors which your heart may desire. It is difficult for humanity to pray or even to aspire to cosmic heights of thought and service when there is no established precedent in the force field of the individual mind to act as a guideline for developing in man the quality of asking for what he ought to ask. In this pearl of instructions, I am setting forth before you the fact that in reality, there are in the subconscious world, or even the greatest of saints, hidden chambers of astral horror which require transmutation. In an unguarded moment, these can and often do break forth upon the surface of being into a state of alignment with the most vicious and destructive negative forces on the planet. Just as mankind, who are wise, seek a catharsis in their physical as well as their emotional body to purge them from residual substance, so it is essential that they purify their entire consciousness through calling into action the blessed violet flame, which focuses the forgiving, transmuting power of God. Many devotees, unbeknownst to themselves, succeed in invoking the violet flame through the power of intercessory prayer and do call forth those activities of the sacred fire of God, which in the West are usually termed the action of the Holy Spirit, and which in the East are related to the destruction of all that is unreal and the purification of the veil of Maya by Lord Shiva. Always remember, beloved ones, that exposure to the divine flames or the invocation of spiritual power, wisdom, and love in your world can never alter or harm any part of your being that is a manifestation of universal perfection. All that can be exposed or brought down are the force fields of human thought and feeling, which enforce the strongholds of Satan and the seeds of Lucifer in the individual mind and heart. Let us take, for example, the manifestation of that which is often prevalent in Orthodox churches, self righteousness, and the defense of that righteousness. The followers of various religions do not hesitate to level at one another the most vile accusations involving twists of human doctrine and justification of their own pet version of the will of God. They fight and spat like feline creatures and cast out of the window of their lives gentle thoughts of forgiving love as well as opportunity for increased understanding. Can you not see how silly this is for mankind who profess to do the will of God, to espouse the cause of brotherhood and the healing ministry of the Christ, to allow themselves to enter into a frame of mind wherein they consider heaven itself unable to defend the living truth? Take great care, then, beloved ones, to hold yourselves in a sweet and childlike spirit of obedience to the will of God, to be not overly inclined to rush to the defense of truth. For truth is its own best defense. Not that we do not appreciate loyalty, but we have an equal appreciation for good behavior. Mankind's indoctrination of the Luciferian spirit of rebellious is no part of the instruction of the living God. The force of rebellion is chaotic and robs man of his peace. How glorious it is when mankind pursue the outworking of the harmony of inner spheres in their lives and in their associations with others. Then they are able to clear the way before their own advancement in life and to perceive the universal intent as it manifests perfections die. Thus are stamped upon the human image those aspects of the divine that carry man back to his own Eden of perfection, at the same time propelling him forward in those adroit manifestations of life that show forth the self mastery of the adept. From time to time, we have actually toyed with the idea of developing in man greater power over the elements and over the manifestation of nature. We have thought, in effect, to teach the neophyte how to bend the will of the universe in such a manner as to give him greater mastery that he might hasten the victory of mankind. Whenever we have given serious consideration to this question, we have sought, as is our custom, the advice of the Comic Board and of those universal intelligences who are beyond us in the cosmic evolutionary scale. And in every case, we have been admonished to search the Akashic records and perceive that mankind, in their lack of understanding, have always misused such power when it was given to them. In the name of heaven, blessed ones, the record clearly shows that humanity have misused their spiritual powers and forfeited their adeptship in its embryonic state, even when they had great spiritual knowledge. Hence, we have asked that the consciousness of mankind should be satisfied, especially those who reveal the will of God, with the development in themselves of the beauty of wisdom's rays, so that there might take place, along with their spiritual development, and adherence to wisdom's ray, right while their latent spiritual powers are literally exploding. In the past, many among mankind have sought to develop their spiritual powers long before they develop their spiritual wisdom. When people do this, it becomes necessary for the karmic lords to fling them back upon the shores of life until such a time as they are able to follow the prescribed path. Therefore, I urge you, one and all, not to overlook at any stage of your development the use of the body transmuting flame. For through the flame, much can be consumed upon the altar of being that will thereby be deprived of the opportunity of acting in your world. Embodied mankind will find, if they will take the time to experiment with this law, that they will be able to curb the manifestation of negative karma in their life by evoking the consuming power of the Holy Spirit in this most direct and specific application to man's needs that clears the way for the unfoldment of his latent spiritual powers. By commending yourselves into the good shepherd of righteousness, By committing yourselves into the laws of infinite perfection, manifesting in your life finite realms, you begin the process of correctly using the highest laws that are outworking perfection so beautifully in our sphere. May I extend to you divine felicitations upon the path, even as I pray that you will ever keep open the doorways of mind and heart to the unfoldment of both the universal will and the universal purpose. Thus, a good star born in your heart as a miniature focus of the great central sun will become the diamond shining mind of God through the impartation of those points of awareness that are so closely identified with the cosmic compass of universal purpose. I am striving with you for your development upon the pathway of devotion and service to the causes of the brotherhood and the one cause of God, which we seek to glorify. Devotedly your servant, Sanctus Germanus.